In this video, we're going to learn about square numbers, square roots, and cubes. A square number is equal to another whole number multiplied by itself. For example, 1 squared, this is the notation that we use, is equal to 1 times 1, which is just 1. So that tells us that the number 1 is a square number. 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4, which tells us that 4 is a square number because it is 2 squared. And I'm going to carry on and I'm going to list the first 12 square numbers. And you should remember these. 3 squared, 3 times 3, which is 9. 9 is a square number. 4 squared, 4 times 4, 16. 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is 25. And if we carry on this way, we will get 6 squared, 36, 7 squared, 49, 8 squared, 64, 9 squared, 81, 10 squared, 10 times 10 is 100, 11 squared is 121, and 12 squared is 144. So I'm going to write those out a little bit more neatly as shown. Now let's have a look at some examples. So example. Work out 14 squared. So you might have a question like that. And what we need to do, whenever we square something, we multiply it by itself. So to work out 14 squared, I'm going to work out 14 times 14. And you can use whatever method you like there. So you might want to use the grid. So we will have 196. The square root of a number can be thought of as the opposite of squaring the number. If we want to work out the square root of 4, the answer will be the number that I need to square to get 4. And if we remember from earlier, the number that I squared to get 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So the square root of 4 is simply 2. The square root of 16 is the number that I need to square to get 16, which is just 4. The square root of 64 is the number that I need to square to get 64, which is 8. The square root of 1 is a number that I have to square to get 1, which is just 1. So you might have a question like this. Find the square root of 169. To do this, we need to remember that 12 squared is 144, so that means the answer should be somewhere near 12. If we try 13 squared by doing 13 times 13, we should notice that we have 13 times 13, 393031. We should notice that we have 169. So that means that the square root of 169 is 13, since 13 squared is 169. A cube number is equal to another whole number multiplied by itself 3 times. So 1 cubed, so we write this with 1 and then the power 3, which just means 1 multiplied by itself 3 times, or 1 cubed. 1 cubed is 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, which is going to be 4 times 2, which is 8. And it's really good practice for you to work these out. 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3. 3 threes are 9, times by 3 is 27. 4 cubed is 4 times 4 times 4. 4 fours are 16, times by 4 will be 64. And then 5 cubed is going to be 5 times 5 times 5, which is 25 times 5, which is 125. It's really important that you know the first 5 cube numbers. So an example, a harder example would be find 9 cubed. To find 9 cubed, so the 9th cube number, you would need to multiply 9 by itself 3 times, 9 times 9 times 9. We should remember that 9 times 9 is 81, so we need to do 81 times 9. You can use whichever method you like. So if I use the column method here, 9 times 1 is 9, 9 times 8 is 72. Put the 0, we don't have to put a 0 here. So that means 9 cubed is 729. Here are some questions for you to try. Pause the video now and have a go at them, and when you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers.